believe we're rolling here. The first thing is peace on this. I'll just give it a moment to make sure it's working good on my end. Thank you. Yeah, good. We're rolling. All right. In the comments section, thank you. In the comments section, I am going to put in a couple important links first. One is to Amnesty International, so you can use that link to contact them. And I'm also putting in a link for CAT to contact them with your complaints. Yeah, so this is the Committee Against Torture, which is connected to the United Nations and the Human Declaration of Rights, and it's the Convention Against Torture. Hi, Joanna Childs. So with these, now I'm going to begin. This is very, very, very important, not only for the moms and dads that have had their children taken from them unlawfully, and of course the great stress that it puts upon the children and the parents. So where the children have been taken unlawfully by the supposed child care centers worldwide, or let's say levels of government, the child care levels of government worldwide, and all of those involved in that kidnapping, abduction, and that is what it is when your children are taken against your will, in their will and their consent. It is actually unlawful, very unlawful, even though, let's say, it's been condoned, supported by governments worldwide to do this, and it has increased over the years to a great point that, let's say, it never was acceptable, but however now, by bringing all the moms and dads together worldwide and to create a great unity, we are ensuring that it does not exist in the future. So no longer is it unacceptable. However, it takes all of you moms and dads worldwide to join with us as a conjointed effort to end this child abduction under the guise that it's legal or lawful in countries, and it's not. And as we know, the immense psychological torture, what is involved with this, it's absolutely inhumane, it's savage, it's psychotic even by the ones that are doing it, the ones that are taking the children, the ones that are concocting stories, manipulating the truth to actually get the children. But not only that, the lucrative business that they have made out of it as well, which is very sick. So you could also say it's a form of child trafficking because the profits and the money is in there, and these profits and these government concessions and rewards that are given to these child care departments of governments is sick. And you know, what we will be doing is again giving more of that evidence with the money trails and the actual forensics to show that it is very profitable and very lucrative for child care businesses, centers, also with the government's involvements in these worldwide. So what we are looking at is, with this, it's just to keep it simple for all of you, and I know so many don't have time to, or would rather not take time to do a lot of research. And that is one reason I'm bringing this to you and right to the point. That again, the psychological torture, what is involved when they take your children. Now, what I will say is that it's not child care centers or services that they are taking them into. It's actually psychological torture. And worldwide, again, getting back to what I put in the comments here, is your connections. And what I suggest all moms and dads at this time, to keep your case very simple with your uncontestable facts, and send in the complaints to CAT, the Committee Against Torture, and also to Amnesty International. And what we wish to do is get a huge email campaign by all of you so that we can bring it together to point out to CAT, Committee Against Torture, and Amnesty International that this is being organized, it's widespread, and in this time of great unity, if these organizations, if you will, like Committee Against Torture and Amnesty International, if they wish to join us in this movement, it would be great, because it's in full alignment with the psychological torture that is imposed upon the moms and dads, and of course the children. What we also need to say, in your individual countries, when you were unsuccessful in court, let's say using your constitution, using your human rights, even using the laws that were accessible to you, and to no avail when they did not work within your country, you need to realize that with the psychological torture, which is very serious, is that there is the universal jurisdiction, meaning that other countries must also support you in this psychological torture. And really and ideally, and because of its connection to international law, this cannot be ignored by any country. For example, let's say if it's happening in Germany, the U.S. would have to stand up. But also, if it's happening, and it is in the U.S., Germany is also obligated to stand up against what is going on in the U.S. So what you see with this is all of these member states that are part of the United Nations Convention Against Torture, and I think it's 150, if you will, nations worldwide. They are morally obligated to stand up beside you and to stop this, and also to make public awareness of this. The news medias must carry this movement at some point. Nevertheless, it is being publicly put out, and with every one of you that share all of our material, for example, this video, share it worldwide in all of your groups so that all are informed that have been fighting this unlawful taking of the children worldwide for many years, that this stops. So it's not only the psychological torture because the children are being taken, and the stress that this puts upon an innocent mom or dad, or mom and dad, and the innocent children. So it's not only the psychological stress, which is the torture that is imposed against their rights. it is also this experimentation and conditioning that is going on in these child care places as well. And it gets very deep and very dark with this. So having said this, in the future, what we wish also is for survivors from these child care centers to come forward, so I can interview you, or Sister Nya and I, so we can show the world what has actually been going on in there, and importantly, the reason to stand, at this time. And as we know, worldwide, child trafficking, child abuse, but by the systematic abuse is what's so important. And many children vanishing daily. In Europe here, the child refugees that are just vanishing, if you will. Most of them, more notably, in the last 4 years, from Italy and Austria, with both, with the statistics that's able to be obtained. Looks like in both of those countries that over 20,000 refugee children have vanished. To the reports that some of perhaps the governments are saying, they're saying it's not true. However, there is a controversy with this to get the real truth of it. Now, we will see, as we go forward, but it's not only these countries. If you do your research, Netherlands, you'll see 800 or 900, I believe, or perhaps more children have vanished in there over the last several years. It's every country. Belgium, I believe, is perhaps close to 3,000 of refugee children we're speaking of here are vanishing. So this is it is a connected matter, because what it's showing is the vanishing is very real, and the ability, not the ability, the unaccountability is what I should say. It's not clear and documented how many of these children have been found, but importantly, it's not saying how many have not been found. And if one child is gone, it's indicating some form of foul play, at least, or perhaps trafficking and into the more sinister organ harvesting, the pseudoscience and psychological experimentation and what have you. And I don't need to go into all of that. But what I will say, and thank you, high ones, for coming in. Let me see. I wanted to keep this very short. So again, mums and dads, file your complaints at these two organizations for now. Keep it short. You also can reference what I and what we are doing as well, and that you're part of this organization of unity, what has begun, and that this is just the tip of the iceberg with the emails that they will be receiving as we unite forces to end this ridiculous psychological torture worldwide in this respect. So I believe, and keep it short, for anyone watching, we have a divine strategy that we're doing with this to free all of the children worldwide from these institutions. And let me say, what I'm doing here today, this is just another step in a divine strategy to fully free the children. But it's also dependent upon the unity and of all of you standing up and speaking publicly and speaking out loud. You've tried every avenue that you could, most of you, to get your children back. Nothing would work. And again, the reason for it is when you're segregated, when you're separated, the tactics by these ones just inundate you and separate you. And these tactics involved is the complicated, stringent legal systems they have that is designed to continuously burden you with lengthening the agony of trying to get justice, at the same time financially burdening you with legal fees and all of these other associated fees. So it's all designed not to remedy and assist you. As you can see, it's designed to squeeze you right out of the picture so that they have the children. And again, these are psychotic actions and practices that these ones are doing. So, with ones involved, perhaps you have at child care centers innocent employees, but they need to look at this. And we also need these ones coming forward. If you wish to remain anonymous, at least come forward from these child care services so that you can give more evidence and also support the moms and dads on this. So again, this is very important. As with also Interpol, I'll mention, you can also put your complaints there to Interpol. But they usually, let's see if there's I forget about them. They can do investigations, but their enforcement is really not much of an enforcement. So I'll put this in there. Contact Interpol. So here we go. You can report a crime in there, and here's the contact information for Interpol as well. Also, what you may wish to do is if you contact Interpol, the international police, if you will, it's good to mention names in there as well, because what this does for investigative units like Interpol, it makes it easier to get right to the point to begin to investigate the individuals that were and are involved in taking your children. As many of you know, a lot of you have been severely manipulated with lies and deceit with the actual intent to take your children at, of course, no respect to your rights. So these individuals that are involved in that, they need to be named and also to be investigated. So again, that is here the contact for Interpol. Everyone, you speak from your heart when you're writing your complaints. Keep it as short. Add as much information, incontestable facts, preferably, to your statement. Have a statement of facts when you send your complaints in there. Also, a brief point form summary of your legal attempts and actions you have taken. And also, it's good, I just put out, to begin to calculate your time as well, that this has caused you and taken you away from your life in your main life as well, because your time has value. And you will find that in the invoice post that I put out on this timeline, but also in the group, private Facebook group that we have set up. So what I'm going to do is to get the link for that group as well, so that we can get more of you together. That should be it. So I'll put that here in this. Let's see if that works. So we ask you to join this group if it resonates with you, and if it's always your choice, that is respected, but it would be great the more that we get in there. I think there's 76, maybe 80 now in there, 18 members, as we're beginning this huge worldwide unity and organization, with also the lawful strategy. And I need to say lawful because as you're discovering, the legal system that you were utilizing is actually illegal. It's not lawful. It does not support the rule of law, which is fundamentally supposed to be founded on the principles of human rights. So what you're finding, where it has put you in places of torture and immense stress, this is not humane, and that there is something much more sinister and deeper going on. And again, this has to be stopped, but the only way for it to be stopped is the worldwide unity, coming together and using the law, the rule of law that many nations have been ignoring and not enforcing from the rule of law. Also, I need to put down into the comments the link, the new link we have to gpms.world, where worldwide we are ratifying the majority voice to bring this new replacement system into reality for the world. And just a quick summary on divinegpms.world. It's a worldwide referendum, a vote, where every child, woman, and man can vote. And if the child is 1 minute old, the child's parents can fill out the consent form, the vote form, on the website. And to get your accord, your vote added to the whole, as we, it is a cumulative vote, meaning that we keep daily collecting the voice until we get the majority. Then this new divine gpms.world replacement system is enacted into law. So not only it's important for this replacement system, it involves law and also the freedom of money and abundance, the way that it should be. Most of you, or all of you deep in your soul, know that you were not put here to suffer. And what GPMS is, it ends all of the suffering. However, the majority of the people worldwide need to ratify it into concrete law. So we are in the ratification stages. Once we have the majority, all of these great funds are released instantly. Approximately your initial payment is an equivalent of $30,000 US at this time, and many other things very quickly become free. It sets off worldwide the most unprecedented deflation, because it is of what it is. However, to keep it simple, it is your full emancipation, it is your full freedoms, all of your intrinsic rights upheld that are included in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all of those for every nation, every place worldwide. So your full liberties, but also your full abundance, that everyone is put in an amazing place of comfort. And so this is very real, what is occurring, and the way that money is actually created. It is done out of thin air. And it's the way that it's created and distributed which was wrong within the current worldwide system, capitalistic system, and how it creates different classes, the elite class, the middle class, the lower class, poverty, and extreme poverty classes. This capitalistic system is insane itself, and it is also a psychological torture for what it does to these ones at the bottom of the capitalistic system worldwide, where they cannot afford food because of the monetary policy and the artificial laws that were here worldwide. So what you have at the bottom with the extreme poverty, you have over 30,000 individuals dying daily due to starvation, and which money could very easily prevent. And out of those 30,000, most of those are children, the innocent children that are dying. And it is the root cause of this current system worldwide of finance and artificial legal systems, which are creating great harm upon humanity, have done in the full past. But this also is stopping now as we speak, and as we get divine GPMS.world fully ratified. And anyone, if you take the time to look at it, you see it's the all-inclusive system. You can call it the heaven on earth, because truly that's what it does. It's a full replacement system that is sane, it's common sense, it's also, it is not a fantasy, it's being physically ratified with every one of you that add your consent to it. And everyone knows that a majority rules. So when you have the majority worldwide ratifying individually divine GPMS.world, it is the most concrete, absolute law that cannot be contested nor opposed by anyone. And seriously, for anyone to oppose it, it would just, it's so ridiculous to imagine that. But nevertheless, I want to keep this short. So there's many other good things that are coming, much more information for you to utilize and to prepare yourself and strengthen yourself for this very amazing time. And yes, many of you have suffered, but what I am saying, you need to stand up and to come together so all of us end this suffering worldwide once and for all. So it's your choice. Do you continue to suffer by not doing anything, or do you take action and do what is morally right and stand with all of those worldwide that are standing, so we end this psychotic insanity of psychological torture that has been perpetrated upon perhaps millions and millions of children, innocent children, and innocent moms and dads worldwide. And even if you're not a mother or a father, it would be so good for you to join in support for what we're doing. And what I suggest again is publicly put everything out there. All of you at your own discretion should be putting out names of ones that are involved, showing the actual laws that they broke, go public with it. This is your best defense, and it's your best strength. By going public, you are informing the public, but you're also creating a bigger organization to stop this for all worldwide. It's sick and it's senseless to see these innocent children suffering and being ripped away from their families with a deeper and underlying agenda in most of the cases. This is sick, and it's sick for the mothers and fathers to be put in this state of psychological torture. And no longer is this acceptable. I could sit here all day and speak to you, and nothing would happen if you don't unite. So I am revealing to you and sharing with you all of this information, and to let you know that we are here so that you can begin to unite with us, so that you get your children back as soon as possible. As most, if not all of you know, that nothing has worked in the past. And I've just shared part of the reasons why it did not work. So we need to take a higher action, and we are coming from absolute law with this. But also, what I will say, this would not be possible if God was not real to support this. So it's very important for you as well to recognize that God is very real, and to keep that trust and that faith, and to realize what I'm sharing with you here today, how it is so great. So, with that, love, light, and gratitude to all mums and dads, and you should be very, very happy for what we are doing and what's to come here very shortly. So have an amazing day wherever you may be.